Hey guys, it's Peggy here with Citrus Templates, and today I wanted to show you some ways that you can use this real estate CRM and customize it to how you work. So if you haven't watched my first video on just an overview of how this real estate CRM works in Notion, feel free to check that one out first. And then these are kind of more updated tips and kind of advanced tricks that you can use to further customize the template on your own. So the first thing that you want to do is we can go down here and just look at our contact database. And this is kind of the overall kind of where all of your contacts and all the information is housed. So you can definitely customize this for what you need. So like if, let's say you have kind of different words for pre-qualified or active or pending. Let's say like you don't want to use pending, but instead you want to use the word under contract. So here you can just go down to this pending and click here, and then now you can update this to say under contract here. You can also change the colors. Let's say you want that to be blue, or you can even just start adding in another field. So let's say we want to add a post-closing field. So we can just add that in. And because this is a single select, it will just, you can only have one status at a time. And then you can also reorder these to however you want to look at it as well. So that's how you can change, the status. Same thing with, client type. Let's say, if you can come here to edit this property. That's another way to do it. And then you can add more options here or change these options. Like if you want to, rename this or change the color, you can do that here. The value of having Notion is that, you can have like different types. So this is like kind of a multi-select, so you can select more than one type here. But there's all these different other, types of information that you can add into your database as well. And so that's how you could change some of these types and the status to kind of more align with what you're doing. Like if you don't do anything with, renters or landlords, like feel free to delete that out, right? So you can do all of that kind of stuff. And then you can also add in, more fields and things like that too. So let's say you want to add in, a link to somewhere else. Like let's say you want to add a link to your Google Drive where this person's, files are, like their buyer agreement and things like that. So maybe I'll just type this in as Google Drive link. There is actually a lot of integrations here as well, but let's just say right now for simplicity, we're just going to have a URL link. So that's pretty much all you do. You just click the plus button. You can add this link, and then you can do make it a type of a URL, and you can add things like that there. So then you can just go in here and put in the link, and then it'll be in the file as well. So then when you look at the actual card, so let's say you're going to open up Claude and see what he's doing. You can also put, now this Google Drive link is up here in all of your properties, and then you can put that in here. And then you can also continue to, add any notes and stuff like that down here as well. So that's how you could add new properties. If you want to track something else, you can add that in here too. Now, once you kind of got, your contacts in here, and when you have a lot of contacts, then that's when you really want to be able to start to filter and do things like that. And so here, obviously here you can see everybody, but let's say if you have like 100 contacts in here, then the search function becomes really a lot more useful, right? Because maybe you need to find Claude here. And so you can, just type in his name, and then he'll come up here. Right. And then you can start to also filter here as well. So you can say, okay, I want to see, let's see all of my, I want to see all of my buyers that are planning to buy in, let's say their timeline, that are planning to buy within this year, or within this year, something like that, right? So then we can then start to filter and find people this way. Another great filter also would be, let's say, okay, and then if you don't want this anymore, you can just delete this filter. One filter that I would use as well is the last contact date. Let's say the last contact date was the past 4 weeks, something like that, right? Like that you have not contacted. The question is then, who are my buyers that I have not contacted in the last 4 weeks, right? This is kind of just to make sure that everybody that you were supposed to contact, you did contact, and you want to double check. Okay, well, I was supposed to contact, Henry, and I didn't contact him, right? Or maybe for some reason there's no date in here, right? So you can kind of use this last contact date as a way to just double check that you have contacted everybody and nobody, has fallen off the wagon and did not get contacted. So there's a lot of ways that now you can start to filter this information and just, find those nuggets of people that, maybe you haven't followed up with in a while, or that, are ready to buy, and now you can reach out to them. So that's a way that you can filter with your database. Okay. And then let's go back to the dashboard now. So if you want to, you can definitely customize this page as well, right? So just to review, when you open this, you should get to this page first. If you want to just go directly into your database, you can just go and look at everybody in here. Or you can also customize this dashboard for who you want to see, or what you want to see, when you first look at this list. So what I would do here is, what you can do is you can click on these lines and you can just like duplicate this. And this is really just so that you can keep these little sections in here. So let's say you have a long-term list or something like that. I don't know why you would necessarily want to do that, but let's say you have like a long-term list that you want to see, people who are 1 year out from buying. And so then you can actually copy this. You can just go ahead and copy this because this is a view into your database. And so you can say duplicate this, and then it's super easy just to click on this and then move it up here. So now you've got this database. Now we're just going to kind of update this to what we need. And so here we don't really need all of these views. So you can actually just delete this one. You can delete that one. Let's say here we're going to rename this to 1+ years out, right? So these are people that are 1+ years out. Then then here, now you can also start to edit this information as well. And let me see, I'm going to remove this filter because we don't need that filter anymore, but we're going to add in another filter, right? So we're going to add in that the timeline is 1+ years because that's who we really want to see. So you can see Henry Matisse, he's, 1 year out. And then you can also then now update the properties, like what you're seeing here. So, and you can shift like how you see this stuff too. So you can see already how flexible Notion is. Maybe you don't really need a next contact date, but you just want to be able to see kind of who's, who is coming up, and where they're coming from, and so you can filter and you can like add whatever columns you want to see from the database. And of course you can switch these around. All you have to do is just click on it and move it, and you can filter this for however you like. So that's a way that you can just add in new views into your dashboard. So let's say like if you wanted to add in, like you work in multiple counties, maybe you want to filter people by county, and so you can start to filter these different things in here. Okay, so that's how you could customize this dashboard part. And then the last thing that I'll talk about is how to customize this contact button. So how it works right now, first you want to just click on the setting button. So click on that, and now it says, okay, add new contact, that's the name here. Then when the button is clicked, then it's going to, add a page to your contact database, right? It's going to add a line there. Then the name, I just defaulted to new contact, but you can, default it to something else. For the name, the new lead date is today. The status is new. So maybe for you, you may want to like just go into a different status. So you can set all of that information up here. You can also edit another property. So if you want to add in, like I want to have a default next contact date. So if I forget to set a next contact date, at least there's a default in there that is going to be some other time. So something like that where that it'll the contact date will be in there. So that's another thing that you could do. And or you can just add in all these other things that you might want to just have a default in there. And then once you have that default information, then it'll just automatically open it so that you can just start typing in that information. And then you can add other steps here where maybe you want to already add in some notes or you want to do some other things, but this is where you can also customize the button. So I just wanted to show you that in case there's like different things you might want to change when you add a new contact automatically, then this is where you would kind of change what that button does. Okay. So again, I know that was like a lot of information about how you can customize this Notion Real Estate CRM. I think one of the beauties of Notion is that it is so flexible. So there are a lot of really creative ways that you can use this in your real estate business. So if you guys have any questions or you can't quite figure out how to customize something, feel free to reach out to me and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks.